Hey everyone, word of caution for this video. I have no idea what I'm about to say. But I've got an idea of where I want to start. I don't know what that action is. I'll do that again. Alright, so there's this thing called the Dream 100. And I'm going to talk about it really, really briefly. But it's this idea, I think it was originally kind of like a marketing principle, right? Where you basically follow, like once you enter like an entrepreneurial space, you follow 100 people that inspire you within that industry or that space or that vertical or whatever you want to call it. And the idea is that you like their stuff on social media, you comment on their stuff, and they're a mixture of bloggers, podcasters, influencers, business owners, list owners, whoever it might be. And you like their stuff, you comment on their stuff, but also their content feeds your content. So you get to kind of talk about everything that they're talking about and seeing what's working. So it's a whole mix of benefits that happen when you get the Dream 100. And as you start liking and commenting them, you might get asked to be in their podcasts and share. You can interview them and things like that. So I'm hoping to one day kind of work my way up to being able to interview Russell Brand, but we'll see how that pans out over time. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But here's the thing. It's complicated in the men's mental health space to do this. And the reason that it's complicated is that, like, particularly on YouTube, it's not really a thing that anyone talks about, at least not directly. We skirt around the surfaces of it. And the reason that, like, particularly in a lot of the big channels, the reason that they find success is because they actually don't talk about it. And they talk about the ways around it. You see, let me give you an example. There are a lot of channels. So I just had a flick through all of my subscribed channels on YouTube then to see if I could find some kind of inspiration with which to talk about. And I didn't find much because it's all about habit, behavior, process, efficiency, money, success, relationships, dating. It's a physical idea. It's like it's actually kind of like moving your body in some way, shape, or form. How to lose weight, all those types of things. Rarely do, as men, we address. Other than I want to give a shout out to the channel Depression to Expression, which I think is a brilliant channel. Other than that, like virtually every channel, and I'm deliberately following these channels to talk about mental health stuff, and they're just kind of avoiding it. It's mindset. I mean, they might touch on meditation, but it's still the physical process of meditation, not like the emotional aspect of meditation or what you might experience or the fear you might experience going into meditation or afterwards. It's the process. We talk about like the Wim Hof method and the cold water stuff. We talk about the benefits you get for it, not like the anxiety that you might experience going into it, because we've got to man up and get in the shower and do this stuff. And we just never ever talk about, we never talk about fear. We never talk about anxiety. We never talk about emotions or resilience or grief. Unless there's a habit we can talk about it. It's 5 habits that you could do every day to eliminate grief. That's the only time we talk about it. We never actually just kind of talk about the experiences of any of these emotional things unless it's got a specific habit or process or fix. That's the word, isn't it? It's about fixing. Unless we can fix it, it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, there's nothing to talk about. And that's the crux of it. And that's something that I'm generally quite disappointed with as I look around. Especially even people that are actually in this space, they avoid the conversation. It's like, I'm just having a look at like 7 productive daily habits, 3 journal exercises that changed my life. But I mean, that sounds good because it's about changing lives, but like it's a process driven idea. I read the top 25 books on love, and here's what I learned. It's not about love. It's about the reading of the 25 books, because I'm so impressive. I read 25 books. I just feel like we need to start changing that conversation. Like, Brene Brown talks relentlessly about vulnerability. And the key thing about vulnerability is it's not something that you expect everybody else to do. It's not something you make it okay for everybody else to do. The only way to allow people to be vulnerable is to do it yourself first. And I guess I want to change that conversation through the purpose of this channel, and I'm hoping that maybe I've talked about a few of my fears and challenges. I hope I can open up a bit more. And I don't want to make it just like a sob story channel, because process habit has power. But unless we're talking about the emotions that run underneath or alongside or over the top or with those habits and the process, it's disconnected. And I think it's really, really important we start opening up the conversation rather than just the physical process. And that's where that video went. I'll see you tomorrow.